Well, I think he's a great coach. He's got a great program. He's got his assistant coaches, many of them who've been with him all throughout his, 24, 25 years there. He's evolved. He doesn't take lose. I mean, he never likes to lose. No coach ever likes to lose. But I no longer have to chase him to the bus at away games after he loses. Where I used to, every once in a while I have to ask him to come off the bus and talk to me for just a brief amount of time. But he's, I don't want to use the word mellowed, but that's basically what has happened. And he's very cordial to the press. And I was surprised after the 2011 season that he didn't retire. And he had had colon cancer. He had battled colon cancer, won, and his team won a state title. Perfect way to go out. And he was in, I think he's in his 60s now. But he loves to coach. He loves the practices, and he's still coaching. And I look for him to keep on coaching. He has a very young team this year. So actually came from Colon. He was a good athlete at Colon. He was a longtime assistant under Roger Smith. So he paid his dues. And Roger Smith, his '82 Mendon team won a state title. And was runner-up in '83. So then Swartz, when he took over, it was '89. His first team went to 13-0 because they only played 4 playoff games in those days. And that playoff team, some people consider that the best team ever. I'm not sure. It was a very, very good team. J.J. Wagner, the current coach of the Three Rivers, was on that team. Had a lot of outstanding athletes. That team did not allow a point in the playoffs. That's the only Mendon state championship team that hasn't allowed a point in the playoffs. That's all part of the system, and part of it is due to the assistants. They all know what to do. When they go out and scout a team, they know what they're looking for, and they work on those things in practice. I can remember a few years ago, well, actually it was probably longer than that, but there was a defensive back for Mendon who he intercepted a pass in the very first series by the team. I can't remember which team it was, but he intercepted a pass, and I don't know if he returned it for a touchdown, but it sort of turned the game around early. And I talked to the kid afterward. He said he'd been working that pass play all week, that the other team was going to throw that pass. I thought, well, how did you know that? He said, well, the coaches had me working on that. So in other words, the coaches had scouted this in the other games, and it turned out it was, to their advantage right off the bat. But that's the way Mendon players are taught. And they do make mistakes. They have fumbles and things like that. But it's overall, they play pretty organized football. And when you see a Mendon team on the field, it's a little bit different than the opposition in most cases. I mean, Muskegon Catholic, that's always a battle anyway. The kids that play football at Mendon have a different attitude, and they have different goals. I mean, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win a league title and a state championship. But those kids, when they're team managers, for instance, Swartz will look at those kids and tell them, someday you're going to be in the green and white, and you're going to be playing on the varsity. And he pumps these kids up, and that's their goal. And sure enough, the cycle continues, and up come these kids, and they're ready to play Mendon football.